The president's seat at the FIA isn't just under fire, it's practically sizzling. Controversy has long swirled around the leadership of Mohammed Ben Sulayem, but now there's a real challenge looming. Tim Mayer, a former F1 race steward and longtime motorsport insider, is mounting a campaign to take the reins of the FIA and shake its very foundation. With Carlos Sainz Sr. withdrawing from the race for president, Mayer has emerged as the last serious contender, and he's not just coming in as a reformer, he's charging in like a man on a mission to dismantle the inner rot of the organization that once fired him. The FIA, for all its global influence and prestige, has never been short on drama. But in recent years, that drama has crept out from the track and into the boardrooms. Allegations of cronyism, mishandled investigations, and closed-door decision-making have cast a long shadow. Under Ben Sulayem's leadership, the FIA has become a fortress. Insiders claim that decisions are made by a shrinking circle of loyalists. Transparency has all but evaporated. Whistleblowers and critics have been silenced or forced out. What was promised as a new era of reform and openness has devolved into a stage-managed performance. And while the president points to financial improvements, many argue that the real growth, the surge in popularity and revenue, has little to do with him and everything to do with external forces like Liberty Media's savvy marketing and the global Netflix effect. Tim Mayer's campaign is fueled by personal experience and a broader sense of disillusionment within the racing world. He wasn't just fired, he was dismissed with a text message. The official reason? A supposed conflict of interest. But many believe the real reason was Mayer's pushback on non-disclosure agreements and secretive council protocols. He wasn't willing to be silenced, and he paid the price. In Mayer's words, 3 years ago, Ben Sulayem ran on values, transparency, inclusion, support for smaller federations. But what's been delivered is a performance. Behind the scenes, capable voices, especially women and minorities, have been excluded. Financial progress is touted, but oversight has shrunk. Decisions that affect millions of fans, teams, and stakeholders are being made with little to no input from the people most impacted. One of the most damning examples of leadership gone wrong was the investigation into Susie Wolff, triggered by vague accusations of a conflict of interest due to her marriage to Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff. The investigation began with no evidence and ended just as abruptly, with no findings and no apology. The damage, however, was done. Susie's reputation was put through the shredder in public. Lewis Hamilton later stated he had no respect for Ben Sulayem following that debacle. Other drivers and insiders echoed the sentiment, pointing to a pattern of impulsive actions and defensive leadership. But this wasn't an isolated incident. Under Sulayem's tenure, numerous high-level resignations have rocked the FIA. Senior legal officers, technical directors, and stewards have quietly exited the organization under questionable circumstances. There's an unmistakable pattern. Those who dissent are dismissed. Those who conform are rewarded. Mayer has stated flatly that this isn't a revenge campaign. He has deep roots in the sport. As the son of McLaren co-founder Teddy Mayer and a man who stewarded countless races, his passion is for the health and future of the sport, not settling old scores. He's made it clear, this is about integrity. It's about restoring trust and recentering the FIA around its actual purpose, to govern fairly, transparently, and with accountability. His biggest challenge, however, might be assembling a full team before the election. Mayer will need not just a compelling message, but a full slate of capable, respected individuals to fill key positions: Senate President, Vice Presidents for Sport and Mobility, and others. One rumored name was Robert Reid, the recently resigned Deputy President for Sport. But Mayer clarified that while Reid is not a central figure in his campaign, they've spoken, and Reid has offered insight. Support from within the sport appears to be growing. Drivers are frustrated. Teams feel sidelined. George Russell, who leads the Grand Prix Drivers Association, has been particularly vocal about the lack of transparency and inclusion under the current regime. He pushed for more involvement in decision-making and was effectively told to stay in his lane. The message was clear: drivers drive, leadership leads, and there's no overlap. Even Max Verstappen has found himself at odds with FIA decisions, especially regarding language policing and post-race penalties. At one point, Verstappen expressed frustration that drivers, as professional adults, were being micromanaged for expressing emotions in high-stakes situations. The FIA later softened its stance, but the episode further revealed a tone deafness from the top. Drivers feel they're racing under a regime that punishes authenticity and censors emotion, all while refusing to let their voices shape the direction of the sport. The fan base, too, has grown increasingly disillusioned. Across social platforms, longtime fans and newcomers alike are asking difficult questions. Why are decisions still being made behind closed doors? Why is dissent treated as betrayal? Why are those with institutional knowledge being replaced by loyalists with limited experience? The credibility of the FIA has taken a hit, and Mayer sees an opening to restore it. As the 2026 regulation overhaul approaches, the FIA faces a crossroads. Does it double down on centralized control and closed-door decision-making? Or does it embrace the opportunity to evolve, led by someone like Mayer, who is offering a vision rooted in openness, honesty, and collaboration? Ultimately, this isn't just about replacing one president with another. It's about who controls the narrative of the sport's future. Will it be shaped by a small circle of insiders protecting their power, or by a wider, more inclusive network of stakeholders who believe in accountability and shared progress? Tim Mayer isn't promising miracles, but he is promising clarity. And in today's FIA, that might just be the most radical thing of all. The path forward won't be easy. Changing a political machine as entrenched as the FIA takes more than one good candidate. It takes courage, support, and timing. Still, Mayer's entry into the race has lit a spark. Whether it becomes a wildfire of change or fades into another chapter of frustration remains to be seen. If Mayer succeeds, it could set a precedent far beyond Formula One. A governing body that truly listens to its stakeholders, that champions fairness over favoritism, and that operates under scrutiny rather than shadow could redefine what global motorsport governance looks like. It would send a message to other sports, to sponsors, and to fans. Accountability matters, the integrity of competition matters, and the people in charge can and should be held to the same standards they impose on everyone else. So the question becomes, is Mayer the leader the FIA needs right now? Or will Ben Sulayem weather the storm and cling to control through sheer political muscle? One thing's certain, the next few months may determine the soul of motorsport for years to come. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're ready to see change, make sure to stay tuned, because this race is only just beginning.